Welcome back, my lovely friends, to Teen Poetry. Now, last episode, I promised that I would go over poems from poetry.com. But before that, it's tea and poetry, for heaven's sake. I've been off of tea for a couple of the episodes. For that, I apologize. Today we've got Liberty, America flavored, a hint of gunpowder, and foreign invasion. No, actually, it's Mao Feng green tea. Though, I've got to take a sip of this tea. It's very earthy. I prefer my green tea iced. I feel like hot green tea kind of just tastes like fish. Cold green tea tastes like heaven. Not to say there's not fish in heaven, it's just. Eh. Same thing with matcha. Matcha, unless it's iced and filled with flavor, is disgusting to me. But what we're going to do, we're going to hop on poetry.com. And even though my favorite pen ran out, the zebra click art, very satisfying. We're still going to do the poems, and I'll use a different pen if I'm writing something. Now, there's a random button on poetry.com that takes you to any random poem on here. Probably promoted ones, but still. So I'm going to press. Oh, it tells you the stanza lengths, the stanzas, the words, the meter. Okay, that's actually cool. And the rhyme scheme. We'll start with. There's so many ads on this website, but I just got the same poem twice by clicking on random. We'll do this one. This is by Sean Odell, called Casualty Notice, with the tags of death, family, life, loss, melancholy, and rhyme. The day before a tradition, far from anything giving, a family had to be told their child was no longer living. A private notice will be after a lot of scripted rehearsal, while wishing there were some kind of time reversal. Sweating and nervous, all in service dress blues, as if it had to be flawless delivery of horrible news. Stepping out of the vehicle, you see the family break, as they know the words they'll hear will forever ache. Be strong for the family, as they cry and they scream. Through this nightmare, they'd hope was but a dream. Time does not help the weight that we will carry. From another sister or brother, in arms we must bury. A heartbreak too familiar from the bugle call of taps. Disciplined on the outside, but inside, there's collapse. Okay, Sean O'Donnell. Retired military officer and emerging poet whose writing confronts childhood trauma and forges psychological endurance, pulling from a cultivated deep tension. His poetry focuses on complexities of suffering and the value of persistence. His outlook is molded by successful perseverance across both personal and professional realms. He's currently working on a poetry collection and a memoir. Okay, dude. Nice job. I have seen a lot of movie clips. I've seen the one with Kevin Bacon where he has the man that he's keeping track of. I have never seen it happen in person. I also watched NCIS a lot as a kid, and my parents were both Navy people, so I am familiar with the the concept of this and how horrible it is. And break and ache, blues and news, rehearsal, reversal, giving, living, taps, collapse, carry, bury. The rhymes are hitting so well in this. Oh my goodness. Anything far from anything giving, a family had to be told their child was no longer living. When people say lines go hard in a rap song, this goes hard. Oh my goodness. That is such a big hook. Only thing is, I wish that the first line was capitalized, but that's just because I'm a grammar person and I teach English, so I know it's poetry, but still. We'll move on to the next one. Great job, Sean. Even though your name is spelled Shaun, check out his other poems. He's probably got some other good stuff. Let's do. We'll do this one because it just came up. Never mind, there's an AI picture. I no longer want to read it. Oh, another Sean O'Dell one. This one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 stanzas long. We'll read this. AI picture, but Sean O'Dell did good before. I imagine that Poetry.com forces the photos there, not the people. This is called Accelerant. I do desire a match fire. No, no, strike that. Load me upon the pyre. No, no, strike that. Okay. I don't think it's very hard to tell what this one's referring to. It's strike that referring to striking a match fire. It's reiterating the same things over and over again, which is something that Broken Poetry, kind of cringy name, points out in the description here. Though since Poetry.com has given me the same ones over and over, we'll move on. So I've resorted to poetryandvoice.ca, which I assume is Canada, and I got a poem from Lucille Clifton called Won't You Celebrate With Me? Now, she's actually a Buffalo native. Ignore the dishes sounds in the background. And we'll read this nonetheless. I'll try and cup out the dishes sounds. He's so loud. Won't you celebrate with me what I've shaped into, a kind of life I had no model, born in Babylon, both non-white and woman. What did I see to be except myself? I made it up, here on this bridge between sunshine, starshine, and clay. My one hand holding tight, my other hand, come celebrate with me every day. Something has tried to kill me and has failed. Now, if there isn't something that's commentary on being a black woman in America, this is it. This is by far it. She's a very well celebrated. Oh my god, the dishes quiet. Very celebrated poet. And this is great. It's the one hand holding tight, the other asking you to come with me and celebrate the fact that I created a role model for someone. I made it up. What did I see to be except myself? There was no one on TV. Everything was wrong. The most discriminated group is black women. They're tossed the wayside twice. It's double marginality, and this is great. Something has tried to kill me and it has failed. I still persevered. And we need to celebrate that. Great. I'm just gonna glaze everything like a cinnamon bun because it is good. And Broken Poetry would agree with me. Up next, we have 13 Ways of Looking at a Blackbird by Wallace Stevens. 1. Among 20 snowy mountains, the only moving thing was the eye of a blackbird. 2. I was of 3 minds, like a tree, in which there are 3 blackbirds. 3. The blackbird whirled in autumn winds. It was a small part of the pantomime. 4. A man and a woman are one. A man and a woman and a blackbird are one. 5. I do not know which to prefer, the beauty of inflections or the beauty of innuendos, the blackbird whistling or just after. 6. Icicles filled the long window with barbaric glass. The shadow of the blackbird crossed it to and fro. The mood traced in shadow an indecipherable cause. 7. O thin men of Haddam, what do you imagine? Why do you imagine golden birds? Do you not see how the blackbird walks around the feet of the women about you? 8. I know noble accents and lucid inescapable rhythms, but I know too that the blackbird is involved. and what I know. 9. When the blackbird flew out of sight, it marked the edge of one of many circles. 10. At the sight of blackbirds flying in a green light, even the bods of euphony would cry out sharply. 11. He rode over Connecticut in a glass coach. Once a fear pierced him, in that he mistook the shadow of his equipage for blackbirds. 11. No, this is 12. The river is moving. The blackbird must be flying. 13. It was an evening all afternoon. It was snowing, and it was going to snow. The blackbird sat in the cedar limbs. This is a list poem, obviously, and I'm not the hugest fan, but I do find them really interesting. Or the beauty of innuendos, the blackbird whistling, as in the beauty of inflections, or the beauty of innuendos being just after. Or the barbaric glass, the shadow of the blackbird, or how royal they are, or how they're part of everything. Now, I found out grackles are actually part of the blackbird family, but that's pretty cool. Euphony is not a word I know, so we're going to look that up real quick. The quality being pleasing to the ear, even the bods of euphony would cry out sharply. Okay. At the sight of a blackbird's flying in a green light. Okay, so it's like a ode to how beautiful they are in sound and in visage. Not a clue why the world's so loud today, but I'm dedicated to getting an episode out. I'm going to bookmark that one because I feel like I should give it more attention later. On the topic of birds, though, that's what we're going to write about today. Pick a bird, write something with them. I'm going to write this about loons because I went camping last night and I've been thinking about them since. I love them. So we'll write down shimmer, like what I have on one of my guitar chorus pedals, and then loon. So we'll do title, obviously horrible pun, utter lunacy. And we'll just verbal this one and write as we go. Call upon me when mornings are lonely. When the morning mist brings no feeling of homely. Call upon me when you think of home too soon. You can't feel homesick to the shimmering screen of a loon. I do love them. They are beautiful. And recently in Michigan, where I am, where I'm going to be soon enough, they found that loons were raising baby ducks. Baby geese, it was actually. And they're trying to figure out why. But we'll read this from the beginning now. Utter lunacy. Call upon me when mornings are lonely, when the morning mist brings no feeling of homely. Call upon me when you think of home too soon. You can't feel homesick to the shimmering scream of the loon. Now, I'll write a sub-caption here. Utter lunacy, take me back home. Decent one. Love to see your bird poems, though. We'll see, though. Anyway, a little bit shorter on the short side, but thanks for showing up. We'll definitely come back to 13 ways of looking at a blackbird another time. Actually, no, we'll do it now. Among 20 snowy mountains, the only thing moving was the eye of the blackbird. Okay. It was of 3 minds like a tree in which there are 3 blackbirds. Interesting. I don't quite get this one, and I know poetry is not meant to be caught, but marked the edge of many circles. I can't place it. Number 10, I understand. The river is moving, the blackbird must be flying is one that I really like. The last one makes the most sense. I feel like they go in order of most abstract to least abstract. That might be on purpose. Number 8's where we're gonna stop. I know noble secrets and lucid, inescapable rhythms, but I know too that the blackbird is involved in what I know, which is the causera, the constant noise that the blackbird brings. And even though the noble accents and the music is around, the blackbird created that. The natural rhythm is what established everything else. And that can be caught in all of these, actually. Traced in shadow and undecipherable cause, the shadow of the blackbird. Icicles filled the long window with barbaric glass, but still the blackbird brings beauty to it. In the cedar limbs, it was going to snow. It was snowing all evening, yet he's still there. And in the snowy trees, the blackbird's eye is still visible. It's a comfort, like the loon. Anyway, glad I could actually connect that in my mind. Have a good day. Come to the next one. Bye bye. Ha 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 ha. You thought it was actually over? No, 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 no. We're gonna keep going for a little bit longer because now it's actually quiet here and I can think, for the love of God. Oh my goodness. So we'll get another one here. We'll do one more just because. Because I want to do one more and I didn't. Ooh. That's T.S. Eliot, but I want to do a different one. Hmm. Hmm. Sure. Leonardo DiCaprio by Billy Ray Belcourt. My ex-boyfriend got measurably more attractive, and all I got was a dad bod. Leonardo DiCaprio has a dad bod, and for whatever reason this is reassuring to me. Leonardo DiCaprio finally won an Oscar for his lead role in The Revenant. Leonardo DiCaprio was almost killed by a bear in said movie, but alas, he wasn't. I've yet to see The Revenant, but only because there ain't nothing special about a settler who defies death, while NDNs drop like flies around him. Case in point, the Wikipedia page for The Revenant is organized into 10 sections, one of which is plot. The first line reads, in late 1823, Hugh Glass guides Andrew Henry's trappers through unorganized territory. Regardless of what Leonardo DiCaprio had to say at the Oscars about NDN resistance and climate change, white people see what they want. They feast on what's before them. Had this been a movie made by NDNs, that bear would have killed Leonardo DiCaprio in the first 10 minutes, and for the next 2 hours and 26 minutes. Because this movie runs 2 hours and 36 minutes. There would have been no footage, just the sound of NDNs organizing territory, whatever that means. I don't know what this means. Oh, okay. Native American is... That's what I thought it meant, but I've never heard this. This is new for me. I do agree, though. I wanted to watch The Revenant. I tried to watch The Revenant. It was just nothing. As the kids say, it was nothing burger. I didn't enjoy it. And I would have much rather have watched a movie about Native Americans. It would have been more entertaining. Leonardo DiCaprio has some good movies. In my opinion, that was not one of them. No. No. Now I'm trying to look up the movie that I watched because I watched a movie about a Native American man who was a lawyer, and it was a great movie. No, it's not that one. Hmm. Charles Eastman. Oh yes. It was Bury My Heart at Wounded Knee. Amazing movie. Amazing movie. He has to change his name. Uh, he is forced to assimilate. He was certified in Western medicine and also served as a lawyer. So he was a doctor and a lawyer. He didn't have the supplies he needed either. Honestly, such a great movie. Such a great guy. Very few people inspire me. I feel like inspiration's always been one of those things that's sat wrong with me. I can't see as wrong as it is to say, just seeing a person in a wheelchair doing something that I have done does not exactly inspire me. Their mindset may inspire me, but just because someone has a condition does not inspire me if they can do something. Something truly great transcends any other characteristic. And Charles Eastman, or Ohiyesa, was that thing. I'm in the mood now. I want to do another one. I didn't talk too much about that. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. But we'll do one more anyway. These are more for me than anyone anyway. Very few people listen to them. We'll do Covering by Fred Moten. In the broadest conception of black music, which is the truest concept of black music can't be conceived. A music of covers, black music covers, and cover is non-conceptual. If you've ever covered, if you've ever been covered, or have you ever been laid down, held, mutual, dappled, shift, untimbered, ensemble, and ardent, in the only love which is incandescent hate, so you know what covering discovers hands on, so what it lays on, which blurs. In proximity is all up in what is to approach and darkly to reveal. If you've ever wondered if it's some wandering and covering, if inseparable is gone to go awry and astray and still ain't gone, get there and still on the edge and wait. Then you gotta want not to get there just as bad as you want to get away from here. Blown back, been studying not to know unknown, black blue as black, burying ground blue, as burnt black grounding in the broadest blackest edge. I think this is referring to folk music and how it is passed down over and over and over and over and over, and you can't claim ownership over it. And many do. I mean, Elvis Presley claimed ownership over many songs, despite them having been folk. Now, this is with the black, blue is black there. It makes me wonder if this is also in relation to how history is often wiped of people and their music, and how we appropriate what we've stolen as our own. Now that is where I'll leave it for today. We'll go into more kinds of poems, all kinds of poems, when we can. And if you do happen to listen to these, I really do appreciate it. It is for me, but discussing poetry, it'll rarely be my job. I'll rarely get paid for it, but it makes me happy. And that's what really matters. So, have a good day. Enjoy the summer while you can. We'll have a great time next time. I'll try not to assault your ears next time with dishwashing and so on. Thanks. Episode 7, out.